100 years ago, numerous spatial fissures appeared all over the Earth, and countless dimensional beasts poured into the human world through these fissures. Humans, once at the top of the food chain, suddenly fell and became prey to these dimensional beasts. Fortunately, the fissures also brought dimensional energy, which awakened the potential in a few humans, granting them talents. From then on, humans gained the ability to resist the beasts, entering an era of talents. Yi-Chan witnessed his parents being devoured by the beasts, leaving only his and his younger sister, Yi-Yu, to rely on each other. Just recently, Yi-Chan underwent the talent awakening while lying on his bed. When he woke up, he immediately checked his talent, only to find that it was categorized as weak. A weak talent meant that no matter how hard he tried, he would never become a strong individual. He could only be an ordinary person, but how could he protect his sister like this? At that moment, Yi-Chan's sister, Yi-Yu, put the door open and asked with excitement, "Brother, how did the talent test go?" In order not to disappoint his sister, Yi-Chan told her that he had awakened an excellent talent and that he would become a powerful warrior to protect her. Yi-Yu happily jumped up and said, "I knew it. Brother, you're the best. Let's celebrate with a feast." She then turned and walked toward the door. Just then, a touchscreen appeared in front of Yi-Chan, displaying Yi-Yu's attributes: human, Yi-Yu. Talent, 2nd grade cold ice talent, not awakened. Yi-Chan was puzzled that he could see his sister's attributes. He hesitated for a moment but reached out and touched the screen, causing his sister's attributes to disappear, replaced by his own, human, Yi-Chan. Talent, low. While Yi-Chan was still lost in confusion, Yi-Yu grabbed his hand and pulled his outside. The touchscreen then prompted, human, Yi-Yu. Talent, 2nd grade cold ice talent, replicable. Do you want to replicate this talent? Yi-Chan was astonished, realizing he possessed this incredible ability. However, he refrained from experimenting on his sister and chose not to replicate the talent for now. He was unsure if copying someone else's talent would affect her in any way. Thus, he confidently chose no. The next morning, he searched the streets for people with powerful talents to replicate and become stronger. His eyes emitted a series of light rings, but most people had weak talents. Yi-Chan decided to try his luck at the school to avoid revealing his extraordinary ability to others. He enrolled in the Seafront Base 5th Academy, a school that didn't require talent testing. The instructor in the 3rd training ground of the Martial Arts Academy at the 5th Academy was teaching students techniques. However, none of the students here had condensed cyclones in their chests, a sign of talent. Watching others fall to the ground, a chubby student shouted to the teacher, but the teacher ignored him and sarcastically remarked that those who couldn't form cyclones were all useless. He added that they were the worst class he had ever taught and told them to learn from Chen Dong. Then he left. Curious, the chubby student told others that Chen Dong became a warrior in just half a month and became the personal disciple of the academy's headmaster. He proudly showed off Chen Dong's signature, saying he could sell it for several months' worth of living expenses. I felt speechless. Just then, a commotion arose in the square. A group of people were chanting Chen Dong's name, and even some elementary school girls surrounded him for autographs. Seeing this, the chubby student and I rushed over to ask for his signature too. The touchscreen displayed Chen Dong's talent as average. Finally, I found someone with an average talent. My eyes turned crimson, and I could no longer suppress my inner restlessness. Chen Dong was oblivious to the fact that someone was eyeing him. Pretending to be a top student, I came over to encourage everyone on behalf of the teacher. I pretended I didn't want an autograph. Seeing this, I acted like a fan, asking if I could shake his hand. The people around me agreed, and Chen Dong smiled and shook hands with each of us. Finally, when it was my turn, I successfully replicated his talent with a smirk and then left. At night, I found an empty cave to begin the fusion of the talent I copied. After a moment of excruciating pain, the touchscreen displayed my talent as average, with a cooldown of 30 days for the talent replication. It seemed this incredible ability also had its time limits. With this astonishing power, I, Yi-Chan, vowed to become the strongest man on the surface of the earth. 30 days later, after finishing work, Yi-Chan was walking home when a silvery white shadow darted through the sky above the city. In the next moment, it locked its gaze on Yi-Chan, resembling a predator eyeing its prey. The next second, like a fierce tiger descending from the mountain, it pounced downward. In an instant, a father who had just been laughing with a child was now lying in a pool of blood, having been attacked and killed. A nearby little girl burst into tears, drawing the ferocious gaze of the silver moon mink, which then leaped toward his. Reacting swiftly, Yi-Chan picked up the girl and dodged the attack. But the silver moon mink's speed was too fast. At this rate, Yi-Chan's fate was certain death. At the critical moment, a figure descended from the sky, striking down with a sword. However, the silver moon mink agilely evaded the attack, leaving a deep mark on the ground. The newcomer introduced himself as Captain Wind Wolf and instructed Yi-Chan to protect the little girl while he dealt with the silver moon mink. The captain launched a 2-hit combo against the silver moon mink, but it didn't cause significant damage. Undeterred, he continued to attack, trying to outmaneuver the creature. Seeing that his direct attacks were not effective, the captain shouted that he wasn't there to engage in a one-on-one battle. He jumped down, and 3 people joined forces to stab the silver moon mink. Still, it evaded the attack and then charged at the captain. However, the captain was prepared and pierced the silver moon mink's major artery with a single sword strike. The creature, in a desperate situation, unleashed its bloodline talent skill, boosting its strength dramatically. It swiftly escaped like a bolt of lightning, but the archers from Captain Windwolf's team were already prepared. They shot an arrow, instantly bringing down the beast. As Yitan stared at the fallen creature, his crimson eyes widened because the touchscreen displayed something unexpected. The silver moon mink's talent was revealed on the touchscreen. Bloodline talent, 2nd grade, speed talent, elementary grade. Yitan was astonished to realize that he could also see the talents of the fierce beast. He had thought he could only replicate human talents, but now it seemed there was a chance to replicate the beast's talents as well. Just as everyone thought the silver moon mink was defeated, the creature struggled to its feet, more ferocious than before. Captain Windwolf warned everyone to be cautious and urged Yitan to leave. However, Yitan wore a mischievous smile, thinking that if he could see the beast's talent, he might be able to replicate it. It was an opportunity for him. Yitan charged forward, delivering a punch to the silver moon mink. The touchscreen confirmed the successful replication of the creature's talent. Excited by the discovery, Yitan continued to attack the beast relentlessly, repeatedly replicating its talent. Before he could throw another punch, the captain grabbed him and told him to stop. He informed Yitan that the silver moon mink was already dead. Yitan smirked, knowing he had achieved his goal. After the battle, the captain invited Yitan to join his Windwolf team as a warrior. Yitan agreed to join them, accepting the invitation. Later, when he returned home, Yitan cleaned the blood from his face in the bathroom, considering the fusion of the beast's talent. He wondered if the process would be more painful and even life-threatening compared to the previous fusion. Nevertheless, he was willing to endure it to become stronger and protect the most important person in his life, his sister. Back in his room, Yitan sat on his bed, pondering if the silver moon mink's talent could be integrated into a human. The touchscreen displayed the beast's talents again. Bloodline talent, 2nd grade, speed talent, elementary grade. Seeing this information, Yitan was convinced that the fusion process might be even more excruciating than before. However, he was determined to become stronger and protect what was dear to him, even if he had to become a demon in the process. A mortal body seeks to replicate the talents of a fierce beast. How difficult is it? Firstly, you will experience excruciating pain, falling to the ground and feeling your bones shattering bit by bit. Then, your limbs will contort and deform in an unimaginable way, the stabbing pain tearing at your heart, and endless agony slowly consuming you. Finally, Yitan fainted on the ground, only to wake up the next morning. He quickly checked his body and found his limbs intact. Yitan stood up and executed a suspended kick, realizing that his legs were nimble. His whole body had become remarkably agile. The touchscreen indicated that Yitan, a human, had an intermediate talent and speed. Seeing this information, Yitan widened his eyes. It seemed that the talent replication was not only effective for humans but also for fierce beasts. With the new talent acquired, Yitan naturally wanted to test it out. In the small forest of the 5th Academy, Yitan leaped off a cliff, experiencing Newton's gravitational acceleration as he descended to the ground. The airstream from his descent shook the leaves around him. In an instant, Yitan transformed into a lightning bolt and dashed forward. He easily caught a falling leaf and then crushed it in his hand, marveling at the speed of the silver moon mink, which was truly impressive. Next, Yitan found an open space and sat cross-legged, starting to practice his techniques. At that moment, Zhang Bao, a chubby friend, found Yitan. Zhang Bao had been wondering why he couldn't find Yitan anywhere in the academy. He then noticed Yitan diligently practicing in this secluded place. Approaching him mysteriously, Zhang Bao asked if Yitan wanted to enhance his strength quickly. Yitan asked if he had a way, and Zhang Bao asked if he had ever drunk beast blood. Yitan shook his head abruptly, and Zhang Bao smugly revealed that it was drinking the blood of fierce beasts that made him progress faster. Yitan was taken aback, surprised that the blood of fierce beasts had such an effect. He realized he had missed an opportunity to rapidly gain experience during the battle with the silver moon mink. Zhang Bao informed Yitan that the school's higher-ups had opened a wilderness area outside the city for trials, and the ultimate reward was the beast blood baptism. Zhang Bao invited Yitan to join him, but Yitan, concerned about the danger that his special ability could attract, chose to act alone and rejected Zhang Bao's invitation. Just a moment ago, Yitan came to sign up for the trial but was rejected by a burly bald man. The man claimed that the trial notice hadn't been issued to him, indicating that he wasn't qualified to participate. Yitan stated that he was already a warrior, but the bald man refused to believe him. He angrily grabbed a file from the table and hurled it at Yi Tian, saying that if he wanted to die so badly, he could just sign the contract. Yi Tian picked up the file calmly. It was a life and death contract. The bald man coldly explained that all participants in the trial must sign such a contract. Seeing Yi Tian hesitate, he thought Yi Tian was scared and urged him to leave if he was afraid, not to waste his time. However, Yi Tian confidently signed the contract. After Yi Tian left, the bald man looked out the window and muttered to himself, "Do you really think this trial was prepared for you poor kids?" His meaningful smile indicated that this trial was not simple. The trial day arrived quickly, and the city before them looked as if doomsday had descended. The ground was already filled with participants from various academies. Yi Tian couldn't help but marvel at the number of people. From a distance, Mo Xiaobei, accompanied by his followers, ridiculed the martial arts academy, asking how they dare to participate. His followers chimed in, saying that this year's rules were different, as they could not only hunt fierce beasts but also players, so the more weaklings there were, the better. Mo Xiaobei, with an insidious smile, remarked that it was a blessing for the weak to be hunted by the strong. Mo Xiaobei was an arrogant man, a genius from the first academy, and also the most promising young talent of the Mo family. Suddenly, a man wielding a sharp sword and exuding a powerful aura walked up to Mo Xiaobei and shouted, "Mo Xiaobei, come out and face me. This time, I'll cut you down for sure." Mo Xiaobei just smirked dismissively, calling the man his underling and asking if he wanted to lose to him again. The atmosphere quickly became tense. Just a moment ago, the genius from the second academy, Li Yunxing, challenged Mo Xiaobei from the first academy. As they were on the verge of an intense confrontation, Yi Tian's mentor, standing nearby, showed disdain and called them ignorant poor kids. When Yi Tian glanced back at his mentor, he received a surprising response, "You're also a poor kid. Why can't poor kids stand up for themselves?" With this encouragement, Yi Tian shouted and cheered for Li Yunxing, the one who dared to challenge the privileged. Li Yunxing was taken aback by Yi Tian's support, but he also admired the courage of this boy who stood up for his beliefs. However, the challenge was halted by a warning over the broadcast, stating that duels were prohibited outside the designated area, and those who violated the rule would lose their qualifications for the trial. Li Yunxing had to withdraw his weapon. But before leaving, he left a stern warning to Yi Tian not to be seen inside, or else he would teach him a lesson. Later, Li Yunxing approached Yi Tian and asked for his name. The display showed that Li Yunxing had the talent of a second-rate blade master and a medium-level talent. Yi Tian took the opportunity and reached out his hand, introducing himself as Yi Tian from the 5th Academy. As they shook hands, the system displayed the successful replication of the blade master talent. When the trial officially began, the participants from various academies entered one by one. The 5th Academy was last in line, and Yi Tian still had some time before entering. He found a hidden place deep in the forest and chose to fuse the medium-level blade master talent. As he initiated the fusion, intense pain surged through his arm, and his bones made cracking sounds. Despite experiencing this pain twice before, Yi Tian knelt to the ground, feeling the agony in his back. Nevertheless, his determination to become stronger continued to drive him forward. After a while, a blue light soared into the sky from the forest. Yi Tian had successfully replicated the blade master talent. He began to crouch down and gather his power, and in the next moment, several sharp blade energies flew out from his sword, cutting the trees in front of him. Yi Tian had indeed become stronger. Finally, it was the turn of Yi Tian's academy to enter the trial grounds. After entering, Yi Tian left the group and started to earn points on his own. He was followed by a blue snake, which quickly lunged at him, revealing its blood-red mouth and venomous fangs. Despite facing such a formidable beast, Yi Tian remained calm. With a quick turn and a fluid sword technique, he cut the giant snake into 2 halves. He collected the reward points and continued hunting more ferocious beasts. While he was exploring the ruins, he heard a cry for help and rushed to find Zhang Bao, the chubby student, surrounded by a pack of starving wolves. Zhang Bao was trembling in fear, and Yi Tian quickly took action, shooting an arrow from behind to kill one of the wolves and then swiftly taking down the rest. Yi Tian asked if he could take the reward points, but Zhang Bao urged him to run, warning that these wolves were not easy to deal with. Undeterred, Yi Tian activated his speed talent like lightning and positioned himself in the center of the wolf pack. The wolves, enraged by this audacious prey, attacked him ferociously, but Yi Tian was engulfed in a blue energy, and in the next moment, he drew his blade and emitted a murderous aura. With a single fluid motion, he cut down all the wolves. Zhang Bao was astonished by Yi Tian's powerful blade techniques. "That's an amazing skill," he exclaimed. Yi Tian asked the sitting fat man, "Do you want to continue in this state?" The desperate fat man realized his own limits and replied, "This time is too dangerous. If I can survive, I will be grateful. I'm going to quit now and take the surviving teammates back for treatment." Yi Tian sighed and prepared to continue his journey deeper into the wilderness. The fat man warned him, "I heard that the students from the first academy are besieging a fake beast snake over 10 meters long. It's said to have reached the level of a fake fierce beast, worth 500 points. Why bother with ordinary monsters?" Etienne held the fat man back and asked for the location. "Southeast," replied the fat man. Without hesitation, Etienne sprinted towards the southeast. After a swift run, he finally found the participants from the first academy, but they were already lying dead in a pile. Suddenly, a loud sound caught Etienne's attention. He turned and saw a blazing fire nearby, likely still in battle. Swiftly, Etienne flew towards the rooftop of the building. From above, he saw a fake fierce beast amidst the fire, surrounded by members of the First Academy, led by Mo Xiaobei. Mo Xiaobei was shouting orders, using the strategy of attrition to wear down the fake beast's stamina. The group attacked the creature, but even with their combined efforts, they couldn't pierce its thick hide. Then, Huang Mao, a team member, tried to strike the beast, but his attack only caused a minor injury. Recognizing the moment when the fake beast was weakening, Huang Mao called out, "Young master, the fake beast is losing stamina. It's a good time to kill it." Mo Xiaobei responded, "I'll do it." He grabbed his sword and stabbed the fake beast's head with a powerful blow, causing blood to gush out. The fake beast howled in agony as Mo Xiaobei's sword penetrated its skull. Under the loss of control, the fake fierce beast executed a powerful tail swipe that sent Mo Xiaobei flying and crashing into a wall, causing a massive explosion. Mo Xiaobei was embedded in the wall, but he didn't seem to mind. Instead, he showed excitement, knowing that the 500 points were now his. The fake fierce beast's body slowly collapsed to the ground, indicating its death. Etienne couldn't help feeling regretful as he arrived a step too late. He watched as Mo Xiaobei emerged from the ruins, where Huang Mao bowed to congratulate him on gaining 500 points. Others might have thought that Mo Xiaobei had single-handedly killed the fake fierce beast. Mo Xiaobei laughed and proclaimed himself the first in the trial. But just when they thought it was over, a sudden change occurred. The fake fierce beast, on the brink of death, activated its bloodline power and evolved into a real fierce beast. With a roar, its purple energy spread outward, sending everyone nearby flying and then quickly escaping the encirclement. The others were scared and didn't dare to chase after it anymore. After all, it had become a fierce beast, far beyond their abilities. However, Mo Xiaobei shouted for the others to chase after the beast, emphasizing the value of 1,000 points. Though afraid, the group hesitantly followed in pursuit. Etienne, watching from the rooftop, was excited and activated his abilities, chasing after the fierce beast like a lightning bolt. Following the trail of the beast's secretions, Etienne soon found it in an abandoned factory. He knew it was time to claim the 1,000 points for himself. And that's how this part of the manhwa ends, guys. If you enjoyed this video and want me to make part 2, comment love. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to stay updated.